All right, so we'll just call the meeting to order. Okay. What time is it? I don't have a watch on. 7:08. We'll call the meeting.
And I have 7:05.
7:04 it is. 7:04. We'll call the meeting to order at 7:04. Okay, great. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Nice to see everyone. So, old business. We'll get started right away. For December's action items, let me refer to our minutes. Let's see. For our December action items, Dana's Construction will meet and propose detailed quote to finish granite steps. We have that. I'm going to ask that we just go over that as part of Yvette's report so we can keep going through this. Send Tom Bolin the vote for payment of the new phone system. That was done, and Karen sent him the minutes. And send out an RFP for the elevator as discussed and voted upon. And we have that here as well. So we can take a look at both of those during the director's report.
So the second thing is the phone.
That was the vote about the payment for the new phone system. Yep. That was taken care of. And the RFP for the elevator was discussed and voted on. And we have that. Also, Yvette just gave us that as well. So we can take a look at that as part of when we get to her report. So, okay. Let's see. A few other things that were on, weren't noted on the December action items, but just to go over, all of the holiday presents were taken care of. So that's all set. And then the strategic planning person, I did contact her, and she and I will be talking tomorrow at 4:30. So when I get some information for you, I will just send it out for information purposes, and we can vote on how we proceed at our next meeting. Okay. And that is Deb Hoadley, and she's the director at Moulton Borough. Is that correct?
What was her name?
Deb Hoadley, Hoadley.
And she's from Moulton.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Moving on to our new business, the general ledger, invoiced, manifest, and open POs. So yes, you will see on the open PO list that there still is that 21221749. That is completely my fault that was not moved forward quicker. So I'm sure that Yvette and the staff will move forward with that now that everything is over with Mr. Boland. Any other comments, questions, or concerns on the ledger and manifest? No? Okay. All right, moving on to the trustee investment policy. The trustee investment policy and the trustee investment policies. So Janet sent us that.
Yep.
And it looked like there was just one change, correct?
Yep.
You added the line conservative mutual funds. Is that correct?
That's it.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Janet regarding the policy change? Okay. It makes sense. It's something we're doing. It just,
Exactly.
yes.
I mean, the definition of conservative is. The definition of conservative is something that kind of would loosen that up a little bit,
Yeah.
but I mean, it does. It kind of cuts out short term.
Yeah. But it's just an
investing
option.
and so on as an option. Okay.
So
Okay.
Okay, well, I will make a motion that we approve the trustee investment policy with the change made.
all right, a second.
Okay, is there any further comments or questions? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? 400. Great, thank you, Janet.
Thank you. I'll update that and I'll send it to you.
We have another policy with some lengthier changes in it from Yvette, the meeting room policy.
Yes. So the changes are based on a combination of things. One, we noticed when we had updated this and kind of reformatted it and took out the descriptions of the two rooms, we dropped some of the stuff in red. So most recently we had a request for a group to reserve the room for a party. And we said, we can't have a party in this room. So we went and looked back at the policy and said, where's that line that says a nonprofit group can apply to reserve the meeting rooms? The second thing that required the update was linking to, now the meeting room request form is online, and now there's the release and waiver of liability and indemnity agreement forms, which is still downloaded and printed, so those two should be connected. And then the last thing is based on some of the presentations from Lori Fisher from the State Library over the course of, like the fall. She did a training with the staff on several of our policies with regard to free speech. And so the second red bullet point needed to be updated, and that is language from the ALA. So we had not included the religious or political activities language, which the ALA says we should include. We can't restrict the meeting room based on content, but only time, place, and like manner. So it's have to have the meeting room while we're open, can't have it while we're not, that kind of thing. So.
Okay. And I see that you also added in the word future as far as.
It just was cleaner.
Yeah. Right. Because it's not that you're going to deny, it's like future if something is to have gone wrong. Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense. All right. Any questions for Yvette? Mike?
Yes. Now, if they use the meeting room, religious group, if their message is something hateful, are they free to do it?
Hate speech is protected speech.
All right. I don't agree with it, but.
Well, it's protected speech. So it would be nice if people didn't talk that way. But, frankly, it's funny because with all the jostling of the meeting rooms just for tonight, your meeting, our meeting room is busy. And it's very frequently booked. So,
yeah, it is.
Good luck.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, or did you want to speak to that anymore, Mike?
No.
Okay. All right. So I will make a motion that we accept the meeting room policy with the changes noted.
Second.
Thanks. Okay. All in favor? Okay. 400. Thank you, Yvette.
Okay. I am going to request to have the town attorney review both of those documents.
Sure.
Just because, but
yep.
And then I'll let you know if there were any additional changes
Sure.
from him or her. So,
Yeah.
But I want you guys to look at it first.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense, that this is what we approved. Is this going to be okay? And then we can move forward.
Okay.
And hopefully it is. So, okay. The energy audit.
Oh, that was interesting.
Okay. Any thoughts, comments, questions for Yvette regarding the energy audit?
I thought it was fascinating.
And it was a lot of information.
It was a lot of information.
A lot. I just really focused on that first section, the first pages, because otherwise the nuances, it was overwhelming.
Was there, is it just for our information at this point right now?
This is the report that we needed and that the grant covered. So now it's a matter of taking this information and applying it to the different repairs we were looking at, the HVAC and the roof. So we can also have Iris explain it
Mm-hmm.
if you want me to set up a meeting.
I'm not really sure, honestly, where to go from here. If it's like, because we have so many things like to
We do.
look at.
Yep.
So I wonder if this even just needs are we the facility I can't remember who did
No.
facilities, or
We get rid of it.
we get rid of it. Yeah. Building. Cause I mean, it feels like this is like the time when you need a building subcommittee or like so that all the trustees don't have to come together, but go ahead.
I feel like I don't have a good handle on all the projects.
Mm-hmm.
There's, and I know we talk about it and it's like we're waiting on this person, we're waiting on that person, but it's as
Overwhelming.
all of the projects that we keep talking about, whether they're on the CIP or just things that pop up, that even things that like Jared can do, I just don't have a feel for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we're paying for it, the town's paying for it, our trustee money or appropriated money, I just don't have a good handle on it.
Yeah, and I wonder if it would make sense, because really it's building, but a lot of it is going to come down to finance and how we're going to fund all of these different things. If Yvette and I, or you, Yvette and I, as the finance committee, kind of come up with like a chart of some sort that so we have a visual representation of what the different projects are and where we are in the different phases, and then financially, just for people to
Or
get
do
like a
you
handle.
Have
Well,
something going.
It's in two places.
I understand.
Here
Mm-hmm.
in the report,
Yep.
because I'm also trying to track it. I
I understand.
feel you.
Yeah.
But we have it in the maintenance and building spreadsheet that Joanne puts
Okay.
together. So if we work off that and add maybe another column or double it, and we can duplicate that and just
Yeah, I need more
Tighten
than
this
a
one up.
grid. I think I need like a chart, like a square. Here's this one square. Like I feel like but maybe that's just me, the way my brain works.
Sure.
That chart is just like a running list to me. It's hard to visualize it all.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I'm imagining the building and maintenance list can be, duplicated, trimmed down so we focus on the projects, and have it look like the year-end spending, the year-end purchasing, where it's like, because I I ask the staff to say, where is this coming from? How are we paying for this? So there's that additional column. I mean, it makes sense in my head, and I think we can adapt it and at least have something to work with. And then you can say, I also want this information on it.
Yeah, well, I think
you know.
that the problem is one that there have been a lot of things that have been going on for a long time.
Mhm.
We've had sort of gaps, and then we get like a little piece of information, a little piece just because the way things are coming in from vendors, but
Yeah.
really it is kind of comprehensive.
Yeah.
It's how we need to approach it. So,
I think when I think about what you were talking about with blocks, in my own head, I also am like, okay, well, if we have this piece of information, what's our next step? So, because sometimes we get that information and then we're like, well, what are we doing next? So that's the other part that I'm not sure of, because like if we had information on the stairs, like right now, if we had the stairs, the granite stair information, I know.
Okay.
Like, what's our next step? Is our step just to say, okay, yep, I like it, let's approve it, let's go. That one's checked. I can cross that one off the list. Same with the elevator. Like, what are we waiting for the elevator? And I know there's something, but at the moment, I'm just not sure what that is.
I could tell you, I could answer some of those.
Okay, and that's the
but
part that
I think I'm glad that you
Okay.
have
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that.
I'm
But I
glad.
feel like what I'm hearing you say is like, we don't want to have to rely on just you. Like we want to have a plan, something that we can see, like a nice 11 by 7.
A Kanban.
A what?
Kanban? Cards? Oh, okay. Never mind. That's okay. This is all project management.
I'm thinking old fashioned flow chart, like
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's
something
fine.
where we see the
I can make
steps
that.
or like, yeah, maybe we need a couple different ways to look at the
And
information.
if for nothing else, also to understand, like in my own head, I'm like, okay, I remember we said that appropriation was going to pay for that, and trustee was going to pay for that, and to see that also laid out. So then in the end, it's like, okay, this is the total that's going to come out of
Mhm.
our bank account, and this is the total
Mhm,
that is
mhm.
going to come out of appropriations for this year, and then this much is also what's going to come out of capital reserve. So that's
So how are we going to make this? How is this going to come about? So we need something. We need some
I'll take
document.
care. I'll make it. Because I have all the pieces. I have all the pieces more than you guys have the pieces. So.
And I think there's probably some information you have in your head about how
Sure.
things financials are going to
Yep.
work and stuff like that we can plug into there.
not really.
And it might be just sketched. Maybe nothing's voted on, but it might also be just like the plan in pencil. That's kind of,
Yes.
how it is. And I think that even if we're looking at this too, we can add in, yep, trustees voted on this, trustees voted
Right.
on that. So then we have it sort of all mapped out, because it's great we have it in the minutes, but it would be nice to be able to recall what month did we do that in, right? So like
Okay.
some of that. So sort of a comprehensive plan for our approach to building
I think
and doing
so.
that.
And I
Okay.
think that would also be good for the town council to be able
Mhm.
to say when they start talking budget and stuff, and be like, nope, this part's coming from this money.
Mhm.
We've got it laid out for all
Yeah.
of our, because we've got some significant
Mm-hmm.
projects.
And I think that there's been like some the steps have been like mentally put in place. We've been documenting it, but we need to have just a comprehensive way to look at it all together to make sense
Okay.
too.
I'll work on that.
Okay. That'll also help with just overall budgeting for us to know, because there's
Yep.
some money that we moved into building. Now, where's that money? Are we planning on putting that? So, okay. Thank you, Yvette.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you want to send the draft to Janet for like an overview, like, and then we can, pass it around and people can add. Okay.
Okay.
It's a lot of information.
There's a lot.
I know. I know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go to the director's report.
Okay. So there are several donations. We received a donation of $400 from Heather M. McDonald.
Make a motion to accept the donation from Heather M. McDonald for $400.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Thank you very much for that generous donation that passed 400.
We received a donation of a book entitled Will Bonsal's Essential Guide to Radical Self-Reliant Gardening by Will Bonsall, donated by Jennifer Mayer, who is a Garden Club member and our Seed Library contact.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we accept the Will Bonsall Essential Guide to Radical Self-Reliant Gardening from Jennifer Mayer. Thank you. All those in favor? 400. Thank you very much.
We received a donation of several Korean books from Yunchi Chin, which is the Korean Spirit and Culture Promotion Project contact that we were in communication with about the Korean Lantern craft project. And so there are several titles. One is a Korean title that I don't know how to translate. One is Polishing the Diamond, Enlightening the Mind, Reflections of a Korean Buddhist Master by Kim Jae-woon. And then there's a collection of 6 Korean Spirit and Culture series books.
I make a motion that we accept the donation of Korean books from Yushi Shin.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? 400. Thank you.
I got a donation today of a board game get together murder mystery on the night train. Murder mystery on the night train. It's a board game donated by Loretta Jackson, who is a resident for the Library of Things. So that was new.
Murder mystery on the night train, is that what you said?
Yep.
That's fine.
Get together on the night train.
I'll make a motion that we accept the murder mystery game.
Second.
Thanks. Okay, all those in favor? 400. Thank you very much.
Okay. And then the Friends will be sponsoring 2 programs. I don't think we have the checks yet, but I didn't know when they were going to come, so I thought I'll just put them in the report. So they are going to be purchasing or providing the funds so we can purchase 2 Mario Kart circuit cars so that we can have programs that are a combination of virtual on like a Nintendo Switch and with a remote control car in real life and have
Cool.
like tournaments.
Yeah.
So they're gonna sponsor that, and then they're also going to be sponsoring a program that's a virtual tour of the Auschwitz camp. So, but those funds we don't have in hand yet.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So just,
yeah, we'll make a motion that we accept. I'm sorry, Janet, please go ahead. We'll make a motion that we accept the 2 gifts from the Friends of the Library. Okay, all those in favor? 0-0. Thank you very much to the Friends, as always.
Yeah. I removed the full-time services job posting from the website. You'll see in the adult services report that Stephanie wrote up for me that now that they have a department head through Jen Stover as the executive department head, they're able to kind of really rethink and maybe relearn what needs to happen in the department. You know, what are the priorities and tasks, and kind of divide them up in a different way. So just to alleviate any pressure for them as they get used to each other or just learn about how the department should be running, I said, I'll just take it down, figure out what you need in terms of staffing and let me know. And then we'll move from there. So that's down. We do have some applications. We received some applications for the part-time youth services position. So those interviews should be happening this week. So that's nice.
What do you have an idea of when that job might be reposted, or are you just gonna put it out, or is it also like due to lack of candidates? Like, are there a bunch of different things, or is it like
First of all, there are no candidates.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just dividing up the tasks. You know, we're also talking about, if we combine the desks and how would the coverage work
Mm-hmm.
if we combine the 2 public desks, because that's what a lot of other GMOX libraries have done. And we've been talking about this for months. So I just said, take your time, figure it out, let me know.
Are they feeling like okay as far as covering the desk and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff is going?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's part of it, is the coverage is taken care of, because Jen, Joanne, Sheila, and myself are picking up some time.
Mm-hmm.
But they've also had to think about and understand the needs for off-desk time versus on-desk time and not be so rigid about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another development that they're
Mm-hmm.
It's been good.
I think
It's been fine.
if you read the adult services report, you can see they're very proud and they have a lot of enthusiasm for what they're doing, and that really comes across in how they were writing it. So that was
Right.
lovely to see.
Yes, and I want to keep that momentum up. So I
Mhm.
think removing the pressure, they felt that they were under pressure to figure out things very fast, and I said, "There's no pressure. Let's do it right,
Mhm.
and let me know, and then we'll be able to post for what you need." So, yeah.
Yeah,
but-
it sounds like they have a lot of ownership in what's happening now, and like are very excited about what they're instituting. So
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
That's great.
Absolutely correct.
great.
I don't know if you had other questions. I mean, we have the energy audit.
Mm-hmm.
I submitted the library's town report, and I sent you copies. Kind of,
Yes.
You've got a lot of emails from me last
Mhm.
week. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's the adult services report we were just talking about.
Mhm.
They ordered the scanners and the computers, and the scanners arrived for the self-checkout we talked about last month, and they're working, and everyone is very happy. Library was awarded a grant, which I thought I put up here. I guess I didn't put it. Oh, no, it's under here, yeah. The library was awarded a grant from the Greater Nashua Smart Start Coalition to be spent on toys to promote early literacy and social emotional learning. The grant amount is $332.85, and I missed. You should have. I should have asked you to vote to accept that on page 1.
Okay.
And that was a grant that Kathy submitted.
I will make a motion that we accept the the grant from the Greater Nashua Smart Start Coalition.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Thank you.
That's great.
400. Thank you, Kathy. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you have other.
Well, I think just
Questions?
the 2 things the documents that you brought us also we need to address during this one.
I did send you the balance of all of the.
Yes. Yes.
So when I read that, I went, oh, I can do that.
So, I mean, we have these 2 proposals in front of us that you gave us, the Danis construction proposal, and the RFP from Stanley. This, the steps one, we have 30 days to make a decision about. The elevator upgrade, it's 60 days for this quote. So, yeah. I think that it's hard to make any decisions until we kind of have that information. I mean, I know the steps we have to do, right? The elevator, I definitely think we want to take a look at this in greater detail. I'm not sure if there's an expert on elevators in the town because this is a lot of information, a lot of like technical information that I'm not honestly qualified to evaluate if this is what we need or not. Do we have anybody who you know of who might be able to, I mean, we'll certainly read this over, but it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, Stanley is also the vendor that we use
So,
for the elevator.
yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's
What's
just,
the guarantee? I'll read it.
the guarantee.
Yeah, warranties, guarantees, stuff like that.
Well, I think that maybe what we need to do is to read through this and to give send questions to Yvette
Yep.
that we have about it. For this one, we can certainly take a look at it, figure out what the funding situation is going to be. We have at least one more meeting before we would have to make a decision. So I think we don't need to feel rushed. We obviously want to make a decision and figure out how we're going to pay for it. But we have a little bit of leeway as far as taking our time to read it over and ask those questions. We just got it today. So we're going to, yeah, it's dated the 17th. So we have 60 days from this. There's a 12-month warranty on parts and workmanship, looks like. So can I ask that everybody try to read it over within the next week or so and send Eva any questions, and you can CC me on them, and we'll try to get some answers about that. Okay. So there's that. There's nobody else who's going to put a bid in on this. Is that
we didn't
correct?
get anyone, no.
Just this is what we've got. Okay.
Yes. And Stanley came to the walkthrough. They were the only vendor who came to the walkthrough.
Mhm.
I was at the walkthrough, walking through with them. And they brought their electrician who's going to do the electrical work. So,
Okay. Okay. All right. The steps.
Question.
Yes.
It says existing steps are going to be removed and hauled away. So we're getting rid of the existing steps?
Yes, because those steps were put in and there's a crack and there were other things and they just aren't fitted properly. Is that correct? And they
yes, there's a couple of things. This is a long project. The steps were put in, and as they were being installed, the vendor at that time noticed there was a gap underneath the original front door on the DW highway. and said, it looks like some of these wooden beams are rotting. Pause. You know, I don't want, you know, and they called me out. I looked at it and say, okay, that's fine. We could stop because let's deal with what is this problem. And it took a long time to figure out what that problem was. So now this is addressing fixing the problem that's under that first step where the stoop is, reinforcing that it doesn't go as far back as we thought it might. So that's part of this fix. And then they're going to install new granite steps, not as one whole piece or as a big piece, because that was also, in their opinion, not done correctly. There should be a cement slab first and then the granite steps put on it. There are gaps between I know there's a word for it, but
Wings.
yeah, the wings, there are gaps between that, and that is not correct. So, you know, I mean, when we talk about it at the library, we're not at the point of pointing fingers at a vendor or another vendor. It's just, let's get this done right, because it's an emergency exit. And, you know, the first vendor that cut the steps and installed the steps is a granite vendor, not a step vendor. This is a step vendor. So, but we can get some money back from the first granite
Great.
steps. I don't know how much, but they will work with us, and this company won't remove those steps because it's not their work. So we have to have Northern Lights, whoever's coming back, remove the steps, and we have to have police details scheduled. We get billed for that, and then they will schedule the police details so they know it's the day that the work is happening, and then it happens, and hopefully it happens kind of close together where the steps get removed and then these new steps get put in with the cement pad and everything else, and then we still have the iron railings.
Go ahead, Mike.
So does the steps being hauled away get us money back, or
A little bit. Don't know how much.
Okay.
Not the full price of the steps.
Okay.
Can I ask, do we know other people who have used this company? Because having gone with a company that we're now,
It's recommended by the town.
okay, that's yeah,
That's good enough.
Yeah.
but that's what I'm asking. Like, is there somebody, like, we know this is a reputable person who has done quality work before that we can
Yes.
count on? Okay.
Because the engineer who came in to look at the little space under the door,
Mhm.
under that entrance, recommended this company.
Mhm.
So he worked with the town. I believe they've worked with the town. So
Okay.
this is an all-in-one.
Okay, great. And I see that there is the railings are included and installed. So, okay.
I lost it.
I understand.
Questions, thoughts, I mean, we have to do this. I don't know that we have a lot of options. We have the money that we moved from, is being moved from 21221749. We closed that, and we took 8,000 something out for the phone, but that still leaves about 52,000, give or take, there that we could use for this. I'm looking at you, Janet.
I know, I'm looking it up. I
Okay.
closed it, so I'm like, oh, where is it? Where's the ledger that is? You're looking under the
21221749, which was being closed, and the money's being taken out for the telephone.
right.
And then there's that what remains there.
Yep, and then there's still the two down, the 2122 1540. There's that one that was going to be for the railings, so we can also use that.
But we should have plenty in the
Absolutely,
first one.
yes,
Yeah.
but
Just kind of seeing what else is available for.
right.
And I mean, I guess we're in that situation where we know we have other projects, but to your point, it's an emergency exit. It's an eyesore. Like we need to get it taken
Yes.
care of. We need it's more than just stairs. Even if it's the problem with the structure is not going back as far as we were concerned it was, there's still a problem with the structure, right?
Yeah.
We don't want it to rot further or to have other problems. So I'm going to make a motion that we take money, which would have been out of 158502. That will be from part of the residual from the closing of PO 21221749, and use it to replace the steps and additional work as noted in this proposal. That's a total cost of $27,745.
Can you read me those numbers one more time?
Sure. Yeah. So with the closing of PO 21221749, 1749,
Yep.
we have a surplus left over, or we have money that we moved into 158502 that was moved over.
Yes.
So we're going to use funds from that. I'm making a motion that we use funds from that to pay for the work as noted in this proposal. That's a cost of $27,745.
A second.
Any further discussion?
I do have a question. The removal of the stairs.
Yeah.
What's the cost of that?
I don't know. I'll trace that down.
Mike?
Why don't we just put in wood stairs?
I can't tell if you're joking or serious. So
I know it looked, different, but
well, wood rots also.
yeah, but you can replace it a lot for that amount of money.
I'm not so sure. Wood is not cheap. I mean,
You would know.
I would know. Yeah. Well, I mean, a dozen eggs. I just looked. I was in the grocery store today, and the cost of everything is so astronomical right now that. But we have an obligation to. We can't necessarily always maintain every bit of the building to its original, right? We know that might become an issue with the roof, that we might want to do some more practical, but really nothing is going to last as long as granite is going to, and that's already what's in place. So
No, this is granite veneer that they're going to put on.
a 2-inch thick over the concrete on the stairs. So the concrete is going to be what really is structurally keeping it there. I think the problem with the granite, from what they were saying, is that it shifts, right? And if you can't get it as secure, so yeah.
Right.
All right.
Okay. All right. You second it? No, we did not vote. So are there any further questions or discussion? Okay. All those in favor? 400. So because I was a little bit late getting things to tumble, and to say the least, so it might take a little bit for this PO to close and for everything to move forward,
Yep.
but okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And as painful as that is to contemplate spending that much money, it will be a relief when it is done and done properly. And I think a lot of people will be very happy. And wouldn't that be lovely if everything was nice so out there?
I
So
had a bunch of people be like, when is that front door going to be open?
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you can't get in it anyway. And this particular guy is like, I want to go in that door. He's like, I would use that door all the time. And I'm like,
It's probably, I don't know.
You have to walk to the door in order to get
Yeah. My concern is that people coming in, it's people being able to get out if they had to,
Right.
right? So we need
Yeah.
to make sure that there's a safe egress from that. And it's also just an eyesore. So we want it to look nice. So,
It would be nice to cross it off the list.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So,
Yes, it
so
would.
I think then where we're at with that is that is good. And this one, we're going to take some time to look over, give Yvette your questions within a week. We'll hopefully, if you can, I know you have a lot on your plate, but I think the sooner we can kind of look at comprehensively the projects, the sooner
Yep.
we can make an educated decision about that. Because this one we will if we choose to move forward with this, we would need to go before the town council to talk about our capital reserve fund. So we really want to have all of our information in good order financially before we do that. So, okay. Alrighty. Well, well, where do we go from here? I would like to, before we leave the director's report, and while I'm thinking of it, just make a motion that the additional gift cards that were acquired through the holiday process, which would be $100 worth of gift cards to Buckley's and $20 from the Tomahawk, that those be given to Yvette for use for the staff for different functions.
Okay, 20 for
Thinking, you know, if we,
50.
because if you're having like a training session or, you know, or that sort of thing, or staff
To
meeting
be used for what?
for staff, towards staff functions. It's been a rough week. You want to go buy them pastries, you know, whatever that ends up being. So we will get those too. So that I'm going to make a motion that that's how that fund is used. So
Okay.
I second it.
thank you. Any discussion or questions? Okay, all in favor? 400. So I will get you the 2 that I have, and then you'll have that 20, and then you can
Yeah,
use it at
the
your
20
discretion.
will be
So,
Okay. Thank you.
okay. Okay, treasurer's report. Do we have to keep talking about money now?
Okay. This isn't so bad though.
Okay.
Under fines, closing out December, we started with 8,870 and 13 cents. We ended with 8,601 and 72 cents. Special, we started with 46,214 4 cents. And we ended with 48,329 and 54 cents. Going forward, I'm gonna not give 5 reports.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the balance sheet and then the individuals of just fines and just special, like the 3 window. Like, I like seeing that, but I don't think it matters.
Okay.
So, just less things you have to look at.
All right. Sounds great. Is there anything you want to call to our attention or no?
Everything was pretty.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I do have a question. When friends give money specifically for the 3D, like last month in the minutes, we talked about that they did the 3D supplies. Is that going forward, will you be submitting receipts to the friends to then be reimbursed, or?
That's what we're figuring out.
Okay.
Because the purchases for 3D filament have been made on a credit card. And then you've seen the credit card checks where it's, this is coming out of trustees, this is coming out of town. And I wasn't catching those to have the friends reimburse the trustees. So that's what we're trying to catch. And I think there's some pros and cons. I was talking to Joanne about this. If we send the bill to the friends for them to pay directly, then it's never tracked here.
Sure.
You know, we could track it on a spreadsheet. We started a spreadsheet. But with it going to the trustees and then having the friends reimbursed, then it can be tracked through your accounts. So I'm not sure what you prefer. We're right now still, I feel like we're still tracking all of the history. And I don't think the friends, you know, check their boxes frequently as you do. And we would need to just communicate with the friend saying, I have an invoice for you, you know. But if it's connected to the business card, then, you know, that has a deadline for when that should be paid. So we're a little anxious about that. I don't know if you have an opinion on it? What do you think is best?
I like seeing it. I think it's tracked easily. I also think paying it with a business card, just paying it, but even at the Friends meeting, I think you could just give Danielle either a copy or
Yeah.
the receipts. And
Yeah,
then,
and we weren't.
and then when you,
Yeah.
whether she does it there or even the next meeting,
Right.
it's more about when it comes back in that
Mhm.
it's, because it'll get tracked as a reimbursement, like
Mhm.
that specific, like
Mhm.
if it's 3D, it'll get tracked as a reimbursement. So then when money comes in, it'll get inputted as a reimbursement. So, and then it's not coming out of the general donation.
Right.
That's the
Yes.
other part. That's why I'm asking, because there's the general donation is for general things.
Yeah.
And where if it's specifically with the 3D supplies, if they're going to be reimbursed, then that all those things should just be on the reimbursement side. So that's why I was asking.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like it makes more sense to run it through the trustees' accounts anyway.
I think so. You can
to
track it easily.
Okay. Yeah.
Anything that the friends are to be picking up, and you know that it's not just a general
Mhm.
like seasonal decor, it can be marked as friends reimbursement, and then you can look at it and be like, oh, these are all the things that we should be giving the friends the receipt to, and you guys photocopy everything, so it's easy. I think it's easy.
Okay. That sounds good. We'll try that moving forward. So
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Okay. Acceptance of minutes. We still have not seen the November ones. So Heaney is not back. So we will get those from her. The December minutes we have before us. Thank you, Karen. So
Yeah, I have a question. That as I was typing it, and I thought about it, and then I promptly forgot.
okay.
The amount for the phone system
Mm-hmm.
was different, and it wasn't clear to me, and I'm the one that was typing it, and I never did find out what the amount should be. In one place it
That's what I
says
have.
$3,000.
I
No.
have what you have.
Yeah,
For the new phone,
8,760.
Yeah, that's what I have in my notes.
So you don't have 3,000.
The 330, the 3,300 was for the new scanner.
Oh, the scanner, of course. So
They
you can
self-checkout.
Self-checkout,
Yeah.
right,
Yep.
yes. Okay, and
You got it right.
okay.
You're good. Right.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew something, all right, that's good.
Yeah, it's
No,
there.
but thank you for double checking it.
Yes,
But no, you had it
'cause
correct in here.
If there was something that wasn't
Yep. No, that's
matched up, but
that is
good,
correct.
okay,
Oh,
good.
okay.
it matched my notes.
Yep. Are there any corrections or changes to the minutes? Okay, Mike, you were excused, so it would just be Karen, Janet, and I. So I'm going to make a motion that we accept the minutes from December 13th.
I accept.
Okay. You accept? Good. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. You second? Okay. All those in favor? 3. Opposed? Abstaining? And we have 1 abstention. Okay. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah, that's fine. So that's gonna be minutes.
Yep.
And did you second?
Yes. I
Yes.
did.
First she
Oh my God,
accepted
Sarah,
and then she
sorry.
seconded. Yes. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Committee updates. Nothing for the Building Exploratory Committee. The Friends of the Library met. As you know, there is a book sale coming up this week. So Karen did let me know that she's available to volunteer, and I
Yes,
forwarded
and I
that to
have
Pauline.
Pauline, yeah.
Okay. Is anybody else? Okay, that's fine.
Oh, I'm
Well, I
bummed.
couldn't last time, so I feel better because I can this time.
Okay. Mike, are you available to help at all?
When? this weekend?
Yeah, I sent the email. So I think they're doing setup Thursday afternoon
And Friday morning.
and Friday
she said.
morning, and then the book sale itself is Saturday.
Friday morning is when I'm gonna go.
I could do Friday morning.
Do you have Pauline's email? Do you want to just reach out to her? I can give it to you when we're
You
done
know what? I
here.
got an email. I got an email from the friends.
Okay.
So
So
At what time on Friday morning?
I'm not sure. Do you know what the time is?
No,
I
but
don't
we
know.
open at 9, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually just set up at 9 until finished.
Mm-hmm.
You know, depending on what the Thursday night.
Mhm.
conference. It goes fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
can do Friday.
yeah. So
I just got my kids after 4, so.
oh yeah, no, it'd be,
Plenty of time.
yeah. So
5:15.
I'll be
If-
broke.
can you are you going to reach out to Pauline and let her know that you're available, and then could you just add in that Mike will also be coming in on Friday morning? Thank you. I'm going to help with the Saturday shift cleaning up and that sort of thing. I'm
Yeah,
available
and
for
she
that.
asked
So
me for that too.
yeah, I will be there for Saturday end of and clean up. So yeah, that's great that we can have so many trustees helping out because we really appreciate it. So the Friends of the Library book sale members only is going to be on Friday 5:15 to 6:30. Then the public sale is just on Saturday 9 to 2, and there's no bag sale this time. It's just going to be a straight sale. So that's that. That's really all we talked about was pretty much like that and the voting on the programs that they are generously funding. So that was the bulk of our discussion. The Library Development Fund Committee will be meeting coming up next week. Town Center, have there been any Town Center committee meetings?
No, I didn't get the minutes for it because I wasn't able to attend the last
Okay.
one. So they'll send me the minutes and I'll bring it to the next meeting along with whatever else we do.
Okay. Nothing from the Personnel Committee. Finance Committee. Well, regarding finance, Yvette and I will be going before the Town Council on Thursday. Will you be there as well?
Thursday night.
Thursday night?
Yeah,
Yes.
Thursday night.
Yep. We'll be there Thursday night. So just to talk about our budget. So
7.
at 7. I have 7. Is that what you have, Yvette?
It is 6:30.
Oh, 6:30. I'm glad you checked. Okay. Our appointment isn't necessarily for 6:30. That's when their meeting starts, correct?
Yes.
9.
We're often later in the evening, so
Thursday at, I'm going to say 7.
it's fine.
It's for a library person.
Okay. All right.
Town hall.
Mm-hmm. And I think that, really, our budget is up $30,000, which is essentially the cost of the insurance increase. And we made other shifts and changes so that it didn't go up more than that. So that's pretty much what we're going in with. So I feel very comfortable with that. Okay, so that's that. December action items. I have that I'm going to be talking with Deb Hoadley regarding the strategic planning process, and I will let you all know what I hear from her. Yvette's going to work on a chart of some sort to give us a grand overview of all the many building projects and the different processes. And then with Janet's help, we'll kind of get a grip on what our penciled in funding could possibly be. Let's see, I will, within 24 hours, send Tom Bolin an email about the vote that we made to accept the Danis proposal. And I'll let him know that minutes will be forthcoming on that
Yes, I
also.
will. Okay. So
Okay.
That's,
Yep. And we're going to all look at the elevator RFP and send any questions we might have to Yvette so we can get answers sooner rather than later regarding that. Other than our volunteer commitment to the Friends, that's all I really have for what's going on.
okay. So you're going to arrange for the strategic plan. Yvette's going to create an overview of the
Of the many ongoing
elevator,
building projects.
energy.
Yep. HVAC,
HVAC.
Even just having the phones on the chart, the steps, like just so we have everything and we can see where that
Yes.
funding has come
Yes.
from. So,
And then there was you again.
me again, I'm going to send within 24 hours, I'm going to send Tom Boland
Yes.
information about this. Yep.
I'm gonna send Yvette the updated investment policy. I'm also gonna send it to the state.
I think that's all. Anything else?
Well, the only thing it's the energy audit is
Yeah,
just
where
kind
did-
of there.
It's there. Yeah.
So just TBA on that.
Okay.
I want to make a comment about the annual report. Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. The
I-
chart is great. The
I
chart
love
is
the
just
chart.
such a good way to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good.
It makes it easy, you know.
But even reading through, like, what was going on, I'm like, oh, yeah.
I know that seems like it was like that was within a year. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I know. I went through all of my director's reports and my calendar, and that's not even everything because you
Mhm.
have to get it down to a certain
Mhm.
length, and it's like, we did a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We did a lot.
It was like almost like a rebuilding year in a sense because
Yep.
that's in the past years like been pretty much completely open,
Mm-hmm.
whereas not inching our way
Yeah.
forward makes.
Yeah,
Just think of what we could have done.
I thought it was. We're catching up.
No,
But I thought it was interesting that the most checked out book
Yeah.
that was nonfiction was like a comfort food recipe book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Golden Girl. I gotta look up what this Golden Girl is.
Yeah. I
what
don't
it
know
is.
that book
I don't
either.
either. I was like,
yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. No, it's really
neat.
it's
It
nice.
was neat.
it is.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Well, is there anything else to come before the board?
I would remind people about because next month is going to be February. You're going to have to put your name on the ballot or
Not me.
find a replacement or whatever.
Uh,
So, because that's going to be
Yeah.
next month. So,
when does
So
the?
what PSA are you
Yeah, I
doing
know.
there?
I know. Really, it's. I think really our the question is how are we going to be promoting and trying to recruit
Yeah.
people. When does your name have to be on by?
I think it's the end of the month, but I don't have that. That's on my bulletin board, that timeline for the budget.
Is it February already that it has to be on? Really?
Usually, I thought.
Yeah, I think it's the first time I ran it was like a write-in, so like it was different.
Also, aren't we starting to talk a little bit about evaluations?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to do your evaluation before
Oh,
the
yeah.
board is
That's
done.
true.
Review.
Yep.
A review.
Review. I'm sorry.
Review. What do? Yes, for sure. What do we want to do about like promoting? Like, how are we getting the word out there? We had talked about that should be something we think about, but now here it is. What do we do to
Put an
reach?
article in the library website somewhere.
We've done that.
That's too fun.
Yeah, we've done that in the newsletter. I've goaded like people to write a little blurb and here's a picture and
Mhm.
here's what we do and
Yeah, and you could like being a trustee, you know,
No pressure.
what that entails.
Okay, go ahead. No, please.
Why did you do it? You're the newest one here.
Well, I just wanted to do something, so
Mhm.
you know it was new.
Yeah.
Never done it before, so I'm happy with the experience, but I won't be doing it again. What about the friends?
Well, they're. Yeah, the friends are running the friends, so I don't know if any friends want to become trustees. I'm not sure. But there's a whole big community out there of other people. So I think it'd be nice to get more people involved. Or I was talking to somebody today at work, and I said something about coming to this meeting tonight, and she was like, I didn't even know there was, I mean, she wasn't in this community, she's in another town. It's like, I never knew there was a board of trustees, right? Like she didn't know that was even like a thing. So I think that the good thing about Constant Contact is it's getting out to people who already are, involved in the library, but there might be people who like the library but don't read Constant Contact. Like, how do we reach those people who might want to get involved, right?
One of those advertisements with the board as you walk in the library.
Yeah. What about somebody who's not coming to the library? They're just using it online. I'm just trying to think of like the people like how, yeah.
To put a blurb on the forum?
No.
Well, you say no.
It's
Well,
public.
It could, depending on how you say it. It's, if you took a picture of the trustees at the book sale, woo, here we are, we're doing this thing. We're supporting the library, we're whatever, or we funded a museum pass. There are ways to spin it and just start to put your face and name kind of out there. I was just saying, I was just thinking, well, we could hook you up with Jenny and she could help you with TikTok. And she could make a whole TikTok about the book sale. I have been in the TikToks because they ask me. And it's like, sure. But
does the library have its own TikTok?
yes. Well, yeah. There are ways to publicize, and that was on one of my lists from last year of find ways to reach different people, and there are lots of options for you. It just depends on your comfort level, and if you want to write something, we can push it out. I think it's better to have a picture because that'll get more looks, but then we can also kind of repackage and shoot it out of TikTok, Instagram. We've got all of our platforms. Like if you wanted to say, my book pick, trustees book pick that's easy.
I'll write something for you and send you a picture.
Okay.
And that can go in Constant Contact. So
sure.
I'll do something. Anybody else want to do something?
I'm an old fogey. No
No,
TikTok.
no TikTok.
No Constant Comment.
Contact? No.
Contact, whatever it is.
Well, you
Okay.
do one weekly.
Yeah, I think like maybe posting something to the forum might be like, but I think that could be more about library services, less about us. Like, hey, have you used a museum pass lately? Have you done these are all things that were supported by the library trustees, that sort of thing. So
yeah,
I can do something for that.
Yeah,
I'm only on the new positive one, so
I'm not on any
Not
of them
positive.
anymore.
Positive one.
No. But like we have staff picks for books, and you'll see them. They're little cards, So I don't see why we couldn't change it a little and say, trustee pick. It's just sprinkling
Sure.
the board trustee.
Sure.
Just sprinkling it around, and you have to mention it several times before people really connect that it exists. But I think, when because I talked to lots of people about being a trustee, and I don't think people really know what you do, but it's the same. They don't really know what I do. So,
It's true.
I think if people understood what it was and what the just how much, what's the time commitment? What do you, those kind of tangible things.
Yep.
That would be helpful. You did this once where I had a picture of you with Duke.
Really? Because I was going to send that same picture to you, so I guess I have to come up with another one. Shucks.
No.
Shucks.
That is fine because that was pre-COVID and no one will remember that.
Okay, great.
And if they do, it's like, I love this picture of
No, I'll find another one. I'll figure something out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll write something, but I think we need something that's, oh gosh, TikTok. Okay, I don't know. If you feel like that's something that's going to get people interested. And if you know anybody, right? I think that's the other thing. If we know people, word of mouth, and like inviting people to maybe consider it. So that's the other thing we can do. So
Who's up for re-election?
Karen and Sohini.
They're not.
Karen has served
Oh,
the
Karen,
board
it's how many years?
and loyally for many years. So yeah,
It's a lot.
And the first,
she's gonna miss us. The first Tuesday she isn't here, she'll be like, "What should I be doing tonight? I feel like I should be at a meeting."
need to know what's going on at the library. Yeah, my problem is that as an old fogey, I mainly socialize in town with other old fogies, and
Not an old fogey, but I think that a lot of the people that you associate with are probably already very invested in some part of town politics or town volunteerism and that sort of thing, right?
That's
Because
true.
there's a lot of
That's
people. There's a lot of people like on the town center committee and on all the other things, and maybe that you know that are involved
That's
already, and we need people who maybe aren't as involved to get involved. You know, so
yeah, and because I'm a trustee, as much attention that is put on the board, which is very little, it is even less from like the friends and so on. They actually do it,
mm-hmm.
you know, just because they
Yep.
like the library and they just want to support it
yeah,
and let the library decide how it's going to happen.
yeah, yeah. So I will write something. You know, if Jenny wants to do something on TikTok,
Yeah.
we can like do
Or
something.
Stephanie. I mean, they live on social media in a way that I don't and don't want to. So,
Mhm.
you know, if I go back to the library tomorrow and say, I need an idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see
I will
what
get
they can
10
come up with.
ideas.
Love
they
it.
will come
Love
up
it.
with some. Okay.
Love it. Just let's hear what their ideas are and send them to us so we can like
Okay.
think about it. So okay.
And as far as if you want some help or something like that, that's the kind of thing is in the background behind are the kinds of things like projects and things that I would volunteer to do
Mm-hmm.
that have a beginning and an end. And, you know.
Oh yeah, you're not
something
getting away that easily. No. No, that's great. Okay. Well, we will come up with some things and move forward. So,
Mhm.
okay. Anything else? Okay, then I will make a motion that we adjourn at 8:15.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? 400. Okay. Thank you very much.